Demand for healthcare is growing for many reasons. First one is demographic reason. Fortunately, in all developed countries, life expectancy is lengthening. So people are living longer and as a consequence need to be monitored and treated longer than before. This is the first reason. Second reason is the expansion and development of new pathologies such as cancer, Alzheimer, and other diseases which require long-term monitoring. As a biomedical engineer, I served for more than 15 years in the medical device industry. Implantable devices or diagnostic devices, I mean pacemakers, ICDs, or diagnosis devices such as Holter or blood pressure monitors. And 2 or 3 years ago, I realized that healthcare IT is becoming the golden market for tomorrow. It will be the third market in healthcare just after drugs and medical equipment. Healthcare workers and the hospitals are requested for more than 5 or 6 years now to invest on IT solutions and to change their work organization. We are still on the way, on the move in this process, and so far it has been made with many failures, trials, and successes. The result of this is that doctors and nurses are now quite prudent with the IT innovations. They are expecting to see what has been tested elsewhere before trying it in their own hospital, because they don't have any more time to lose in IT innovation. So they are requesting experiences, case studies, and proof of concepts. Hospitals are requested to be more and more profitable, or to treat more and more patients in the same environment, same staff, same equipment. So this leads to the following global picture. We are moving from the standard hospital to an extended organization where the hospital is still at the heart of it, but the hospital still need to communicate and to interoperate with many other organizations. Starting with private clinics or independent workers, but it also can be the patient himself. And this picture, this global trend in healthcare leads to a growing needs in the market for internal mobility in the hospital and external mobility on the field. At Panasonic, we speak about true mobility by synchronizing data and physical flows. And we believe it is important because doing this gives more time to healthcare workers. A very good example of people who need mobility in hospital are nurses. We have defined mobility in hospital as the ability of synchronizing physical flows and data flows. When you look to physical flows in a ward, you quickly realize that everything is merging towards the nurse, starting with patient flows. We had a case study in France which showed that more than 50% of the working time of a nurse is spent in non-care activities. At Panasonic, we believe that if we can help healthcare workers reducing this time by 30 or 50%, we bring real value, real benefits to the hospital. Bringing additional nurse time in the hospital will give to the entire staff, to the entire organization, the opportunity to better manage in real time the care planning and the management of all tasks in the day. For example, in an X-ray department, you have every day patients arriving late or missing. So if you have a mobile device which allow nurses to communicate and to be informed sooner enough of change in the schedule, they will be able to adapt their activity and use this lost time. In this specific case, the break events for the ROI model for mobility is immediate. It is about 4 or 5 months. Panasonic Toughbooks are not standard laptops. There are mobile devices you can use in extreme environments. They are shock resistant, dust and water resistant, and they are powered with extended indoor and outdoor communication tools. They can be integrated in any communication environment, your existing environment or the future environment you will have in the next years. Those devices are especially designed for handheld use. They have a long battery operating time. They are light. They are specifically designed to be used at hand. And we today offer a wide range of devices which can answer which can bring a solution to each and every situation you may have in a healthcare environment where you may need a mobile device. We have specific devices for ambulances. It is the CF19 range. We have laptops which can be used by doctors or executives in hospital. I mentioned in the CF-F8 range or CFT8. We have ultra-mobile computers which can be used by by supply chain people. Regarding CFH1, our mobile clinical assistant, we have, of course, used all the exclusive technologies from Panasonic to shape this device. I mean, the ruggedness, the extended communication tools, the long battery operating time, the lightweight. But we have worked with a large group of nurses from the NHS to build a device really dedicated for healthcare professionals. And the innovative feature we are bringing with this device to this market is the infection control. You can use it as any other medical device in a hospital or in your working environment. You can clean it, disinfect it, put it in contact with the patient, bringing it into an infection control environment. On top of this, the CFH1 has a wide range of connectivity features. It has USB slots, it has a barcode, an RFID reader, a camera, a serial port, which is quite meaningful in a hospital because most of medical devices still communicate through a serial port. And all those communication features really support the data flows and the physical flows we mentioned. It helps you really linking the physical moves and the information related. For example, using a barcode reader on the CFH1 allows you to check that you are delivering the right medication to the right patient. This is the so-called e-prescription. And e-prescription works because you link information about the medication to the electronic patient record. Doing this cross-checking allows you to indeed control that you are delivering the right treatment to the right patient. In this global picture of the changing healthcare world, where we have hospitals moving from a standard closed organization to an extended one, communicating and working with the many other players in the market. One of them are paramedics. When ambulance team arrives at the scene of accidents, because they are connected to their hospital information system, if they are able to identify the patient, they can access to his electronic patient record and take the right decision accordingly. On the same hand, when the patient is stabilized and when they are back on the way to the hospital, they can send far in advance context information, clinical information to emergency department at the hospital and allow the emergency team to be prepared to receive the patient in the best conditions. So in some situations when you have only 2 minutes to deliver a therapy, this can make a huge difference. You can save a life. Another situation where using a CFH1 can be decisive or can save a life again. In an intensive care department or in an acute care department, The key thing is the ability of responding to alarms. So if you allow doctors and nurses knowing about an alarm as soon as it is triggered, you will help them reducing their response time. And in some critical situations, some lethal situations, it can be decisive for the patient life. As a company, we don't pretend that we can improve care processes or change healthcare organizations. Our ambition is to give more time to healthcare workers, and because they are professionals, they will have the opportunity to convert this additional time into benefits for all in their organizations, starting with patients who will benefit from better monitoring, more time from nurses and doctors, more safety and security. Doctors and nurses will access easily and faster to clinical information. They will better use the costly equipment in the hospital. In one word, giving more time to healthcare professionals brings resources optimization in a hospital and leads to benefits for all.